up with the focus on the equity markets. Volatility has been the underlying theme in the markets of late. To really understand how to play the markets in these tricky times and get some top investment ideas, we're now joined by Joint Managing Director at Prabhudas Lilladher, Amisha Vora. Amisha, thanks very much for joining in. Wishing you a very happy Women's Day from all of us here at BTVI. First off, we'll talk about the markets. Just want to get a sense from you. Once again, this is just what I was talking about with Lakshmi a short while ago. This is a field that unfortunately still, women have a very small role to play still. But in a field like this, you really have succeeded where others have perhaps failed. You're quite the outlier. What have been the learnings and what would you advise to people starting out in this field at a time like this?
Okay, first and foremost, very happy Women's Day to you and all the viewers also. I agree, this is a little more male-dominated field, but as you know, women are really blessed with a lot of, risk-return sense and also a little conservative, and that is what really succeeds in the field of finance. So India is a classic example where most of the big private sector banks and some of the other institutions are headed by women, so which is so very positive. And I feel that within this field of finance, to be successful, one has to be really and completely professional, which means that the number of hours cannot be counted for work. That is the underlying critical fact. But apart from that, for all the women which are not professionally in the finance field, but still wants to take advantage of their very savviness in the field of finance, should start a little bit of their own goal planning as well as financial planning and investments, because now a lot of women are working and they also need to start thinking about their retirement, their savings and their wealth goals. So that is very important that they start looking at that very, very seriously.
All right. So whether or not you are a financial planner yourself, invest in your own growth plan and look at the market seriously as an option for planning your own finances. That's the advice coming in them from Amisha. Amisha, I just want to get a sense from you then to investors who perhaps are starting out in a market like this, and we're seeing we finally come off those record high levels that we were just at the start of the year. Would this be a good time to enter the markets? We're seeing a lot of volatility. What really should be the strategy? What is the game plan that you're using to approach the market currently?
I believe that for an investor who wants to start investing, for him this year could be a good year, because we believe that this year will be a little volatile, but at the same time it will give opportunities to pick up good stocks, because till last year the valuations were so high, markets were going one way. So for an investor, that is for 3 to 5 years perspective, it was not giving the right value to start enter into markets or probably start buying the stocks. This year may provide that opportunity and some of these corrections are very healthy for the markets. So those who are already invested with a 3 to 5 year perspective should stay put and brace for a little more of volatility going forward. I think there are two critical aspects to the markets at this juncture. A, the levels were so high when the correction started that any which way the levels triggered a correction, but as we set in, the mid cap, small cap have corrected much more than the large cap. And the underlying trend, if you see, is that of improvement. Be it GDP number, be it automobile numbers, and be it some of the other numbers are slightly on an improvement path. While that is underway, we are also facing the election year. So that's how we see that the fundamentals are going to become better. Markets may not go anywhere substantially this year. In the process, will create a very good base for the next few years again. After a very long run, market any which way needed to cool down and consolidate a lot. and that's what is underway and will continue for a while.
All right, so then let me ask you, you've mentioned the kind of triggers that we're expecting to see going ahead, and that can only mean that the volatility is expected to continue for some more time. But like you said, still in a bull market, we haven't seen that kind of a correction. We haven't, slipped about 10-20% at all. So where really are you seeing valuations looking better at this point? Earnings have started to recover. The third quarter really, some green shoots coming through for quite a few sectors. What's looking good to you in a sectoral sense?
I think in terms of sectorial stance, auto and auto ancillary will continue to be, we will continue to be very positive. And also in terms of some of the metal related stocks will continue to be positive. We also like tire sector. So all this within auto and metal, we slightly, we are equal weight on IT segment, and we think that the some select stories are shaping up well, but I think broadly the markets will continue to be one of very bottoms up approach. I summarize by saying that if last year was the year when out of 4,000, say 3,500 stocks were positive, and the very stock picking was not an art, rather acting fast was an art to make money. This year will be extremely selective, and very limited number of stocks will be giving very positive return. So that is where the stock selection art will come become very important. But in terms of sector, we said that something in domestic consumption, particularly as GST stabilizes some of these plywood manufacturers, some of these tiles manufacturers, which have seen a huge slowdown post GST, but the unorganized to organized move will start and will continue as a trend for next 3 to 5 years. So those segments in domestic consumption also are something that we have been liking.
Then Amisha, just let's talk, specific stocks. And you mentioned you like auto ancillaries. What are the, stocks that you're looking at in this space, specifically in the tire space? Any names that you can share with us? And IT, very interestingly, like you said, you're cautiously optimistic about this sector. And if you look at the performance YTD in the last few months, IT has been, in fact, the only sector that's managed to hold out in the positive. So do you have any names that you can share with us? Are you liking mid caps or are you preferring large caps?
So in auto ancillary space, in the large cap, we've been bullish on Mahindra and Mahindra at this juncture. We have been liking that. We've been also liking Bajaj Auto, and in tire segment or auto ancillary segment in mid cap, we like JK Tyres a lot. Within the IT, we like Sonata software. We think they are doing a good job and can have much better future. So these are some of the names which are coming to my mind immediately.
All right, so that's an M&M, Bajaj Auto, JK Tyre and Sonata Software. Some picks there from Amisha Vora. Amisha, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in, and always a pleasure to have you on the show, and wishing you from the entire team here a very happy Women's Day. That's Amisha Vora of Prabhudas Lilladher giving us her picks in the market like this.